we have a couple of fun articles I wanted to cover today. Let's go ahead and pause that. Got a couple of fun articles we wanted to go over today. One about Gen Z breaking the ultimate taboo by posting salaries online, and one about Trump accounts and how they're not your only investment option. But we're going to go ahead and start first here with Gen Z breaks ultimate taboo by posting salaries online. Wall Street Journal editor says high living costs and labor market uncertainty are pushing personal finance into public view. So, depending on what generation you're from, we generally didn't talk about politics or money. And now it appears Gen Z is breaking that taboo. And spoiler alert, I think that's probably a good thing. But let's see what this article has to say, and we'll kind of go from there. Gen Z is breaking one of the most deeply rooted social taboos by openly discussing salaries, spending limits, and personal finances online. The Wall Street Journal's free expression associate editor, Mary Julia Koch, joined Fox Business's Ashley Webster on Varney and Company to discuss loud budgeting and why younger Americans are increasingly willing to make once private financial conversations public. All right. The trend encourages people to be transparent about what they can and cannot afford, often by sharing budgets, financial goals, or decisions to skip expensive plans on social media. It comes as many young adults face high living costs, uncertainty in the labor market, and growing pressure to make financially responsible choices. I think my generation is more open about everything. I mean, we've grown up posting online, our relationships, our friendships, our college lives. It makes sense that this sort of next frontier where people are documenting their budgets and their financial lives, Koch said. Makes sense. While talking openly about money does not guarantee better financial decisions, Koch argued that greater awareness could help younger people take more ownership of their finances, particularly as many schools provide limited education in economics, accounting, and basic money management. That's why Free Advice Guy is here, to help bridge that gap. I think at least it gets the conversation started, Koch said. Some awareness is a positive development, especially in an economy that feels very uncertain as young people enter a labor market that could be wrecked by the prospect of AI. Salary discussions may be the next barrier to fall as online culture continues to challenge the traditional norms surrounding money. You don't talk about politics or money at the dinner table, so we'll see if that starts to change, Koch said. Well, this article didn't get nearly as deep as I hoped it would. But a lot of the time, we didn't talk about politics or money because, honestly, it can foster resentment amongst your most important relationships. There's a lot of people out there who quit talking to their family and friends over political things, which is silly. You have no control over the political landscape, but you'll stop talking to your family because of how they voted or your friends. That's ridiculous. Get a grip. Now, there are, and same thing with money. If you find out that your peer or your friend is doing a similar job than you, but making 30% more than you, that's probably going to make you upset. And you may harbor resentment towards your friend, even though it has really nothing to do with you. Now, one of the things I think is positive about Gen Z sharing their salaries is the awareness. This article touches on that. If you know that some other company is paying 30% more than what you're getting paid, why would you stay loyal to that company and not jump ship? Now, there could be other benefits or other reasons you want to stay loyal, but you have to be cognizant of that and be aware that there are other opportunities out there to make more money. The benefits package that you have at your company is also very important. If you don't have great benefits, or if your company does have great benefits, that may be a reason you want to stay even for a lesser amount. Like maybe their health care benefits are much better, their retirement benefits are much better. You have to weigh out your total compensation before making a decision about whether or not you want to jump ship. Now, where this starts to become a little more uncomfortable is what if you're sharing it at your own company? And actually, before we jump into that, if you find yourself in a position where another company is offering more for the same role, you can always bring that up with your manager or HR and see what can happen. It may cause strife with you and your company, And you have to decide if it's worth it for you for that extra money. Now, if it's somebody within your company, and I've seen this happen, people doing the same job, but say a new hire gets paid significantly more than somebody has put that who has put their time in with the company. This can foster a lot of resentment. You're probably doing the job better because you've been there longer, but you're getting paid less to do the same work, and maybe you're training this new hire. So ultimately, I think sharing your salary, while very vulnerable, right? If you share your salary, everybody knows that about you, and it can be very vulnerable. Ultimately, it leads to more transparency. Maybe more companies stop having these wide variances in how people are paid, and it's based strictly on performance. I don't know that you can ever fully get away from it when you're bringing in a new hire, because you have to have an enticing reason for them to leave their old company and join your company. But there are ways that we can sort of force the hand of companies to be more transparent. And one of those ways is being transparent with each other.